guess so. That's what Coach said.
Tyler. So, you guys are working Spider-Lasso stuff, right? In the adult class. Anybody got any questions about Spider-Lasso stuff?
Feeder news.
Either or. Everybody's a master of the Spider-Lasso.
You guys all seen it?
Nobody has any questions.
I guess one of my questions, I can't remember. I went to Sebastian's first class, but not the second one.
Yeah.
When he gets the lasso, does he kick through and then pull his leg back deep to like get it tighter? Is that a thing? Like on this side, yeah. Does he kick it through and then pull back? For when he kicks it through, like get it tighter on the arm
To get the hand tighter to your hip.
Like if the hand is here,
Yeah.
you're stuck. I mean, I guess you could. Yeah. So like if you got your lasso that's kind of loose, I mean, most people are immediately gonna roll their wrist under my thigh, and then that's gonna suck. If that happens, I would like pull your lasso out and pull the wrist back in. Like if he rolls his wrist under my leg, kicking through is not gonna help anymore. Yeah, he's gonna flatten me out. So if he rolls his wrist under my leg, just pull your lasso out, right? And then I can put his arm back in position to go back into my lasso.
When you lasso, you're just going deep enough just to get your foot through.
Yeah, pretty much, because if I kick too deep, right?
No tension there.
Yeah, like I lose my tension, and if you watch this hand, like as I kick, here's where I want to be. I want to be the knuckles of my fist, like flat against my thigh, and I don't want them like here. I want it kind of more on the top of my thigh. You tuck your elbow into your hip pocket, and I'm gonna put my foot, the bendy part of my foot right here, hooks into his armpit, right? Kind of like just behind, so I can pull his shoulder if I need to. But also when I push, I can push him away, right? So I can push, pull, I can flare, move this way. But yeah, you just want to get right here. There's not really a lot of, at least for now, that I can think of, you don't really want to be here with the lasso ever, because he's going to smash me. Yeah. And also when I kick my leg.
Well, I think it's the knee that's flared past my arm, right? So like if you bring your knee down towards you, there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So this knee has to stay out. So even if you're calling it deep, but if he's deep and flares his knee.
Yeah, it could be okay. Like I could come here, go foot in the hip, right? And flare my knee, but I'm still keeping my fist planted on my thigh. So like that's a big thing that you have to focus on. If you lose that fist to thigh connection, he's gonna start rolling his hand out and you're gonna start losing it. So that always keeping that fist like on the thigh is really important. Even if I put my foot in his hip, right, and I can flare it, but it's still probably better to come here.
It's much more tension there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more tension. And like, you don't ever want that to get loose too. Like I don't want my foot to drop to his elbow. I want my foot to stay in the armpit, right here. So I would say no. Probably most of the time you don't want to kick your leg. It doesn't get anything deeper. Like the lasso is not really like a thing that you do deep. You know, like it's a kind of a more of a shallow, I guess you would say shallow position.
I think as you're entering it, so come back out. Like, so when you come here, and even if you go there, you could punch and then come back as you're slipping in, especially if you're going from spider, right? So if you're a spider, so go last one, this one, you could punch through, boom, and then come around there.
Yeah. Yeah, just right here. Anything else? What did he show you guys? He showed y'all the sweep? Did he show y'all how to do the triangle? Did he show y'all how to do the omoplata? And he showed you how to do the sweep?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first time he was here, he did the triangle.
Oh, I didn't go to the seminar. I'm just talking about what Sean
Yeah,
was working
Spencer's
on.
been teaching this
Yeah.
stuff a couple weeks. Yeah. Well,
He did the sweep
And then
Wednesday morning.
Conrad showed us the bonus, like bicep slicer. Yeah.
there's something else we have in
Of course, Conrad.
Yeah.
From a lasso you can spin under people's arms. Yeah. Okay.
Triangle.
Omoplata. That one's pretty fun. That one actually works surprisingly well too. If you get people in a lasso, right, and they start pressuring you, and I get my foot on the backside of their thigh, I can scoop and come under. And I either have an omoplata or I swing right around into a triangle. That one works. This works in gi and no gi. Actually, surprisingly well.
How do you do the
Yeah, so let's do
lasso
that.
and no gi?
Since he's taught you everything else. How to do the lasso and no gi?
Yeah.
That's pretty easy.
Grabbing the wrist.
Right here. Right.
Oh, we can
And then
see
I
that.
hold opposite side a lot of the times, right? And then I'll come get a deep grip because I know it's gonna start to slip, right? And I'll hook like that. So I'll turn his wrist down. Like if I'm in no gi, I feel like it's easier for people to pull out here.
Yeah, we're good at the weak spot there.
Yeah, because he can rotate the blade to through this grip in my fingers. But if I turn the wrist down, it's harder for him to do that, right? So then I get a better grip here if I come like this. And all you have to do is kick your foot, rotate, and then come here for a triangle. It works very well. A lot of people will get caught in this because as you do it with pressure, right? Like as I'm coming through, it's not like he can get away from me because I've got his arm stuck. And so as this leg starts to drop, he's either going to drop with it, and that's when I'll come into an omoplata, or he's going to try to posture out of it, and that's going to help me rotate right into my triangle. So it's a pretty hard thing for people to stop. If you get good at it, come here as well. That can control. It's a little bit more difficult to do it with a double sleeve grip. I would have to pull them on top of me and then come under. But controlling that far sleeve can be helpful. Like when you're in the gi, you can pull it. Right. Rotate over. Here, there's an arm bar. These types of arm bars too, with the leg across the arm, pretty effective. Much better than like a normal arm bar a lot of the time. Call them Senkaku arm bar. You get such a tight grip on it, especially in the gi. There's almost no way he ever pulls his arm out of here. It gets in there so deep, so tight. And even if he grips up, right? If he grips up, his grip is pulling it tighter. He has to ungrip to get his arm out.
Pulling his foot in.
Yeah,
That's what takes hitchhikers.
there's really no way for him to rotate out of this without ungripping. Right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel
Well,
like-
just with your foot there. So
Yeah,
I mean, that
so my
takes
foot's
all
in the
my.
way.
Like a run.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's
even-
doable, but it's tighter.
Well, no, even just like the standard, like if you gripped up right here, right? You're gonna turn towards me and pull your elbow towards the mat, right, to get out. I can lose that. But if I swing into one of these bad boys right here, do it. Pull your elbow towards the mat. It's not happening. It's so hard. And then if I put my arm in there, all right, now do it. There's no way. And you should never pull his elbow to the mat. It's so tight. So let's do that one. It's pretty legit. And it's fun. This is like real, like this is the kind of stuff that makes me feel like I'm a ninja. This way. So yeah, let's rotate all the way around. Right, so I get into my Spider-Lasso. I guess we've been showing it from closed guard. So one tip I have from here, when you guys grab sleeve grips, don't grab the outside edge of the sleeves, right? If I grab here, it's gonna make it really easy for him to roll his wrists out, right? He comes there and starts to put pressure. No, come the other way. Yeah, he starts to put pressure here. It's like ripping this finger. When he does that, is ripping that finger sideways like this, which is a hard pressure to take. It's not easy for my fingers to deal with that pressure. So instead, I'll come and I'll grip the inside of the sleeves like this, right? More towards the middle. And I'll start dropping my wrists inside. Yeah, to come here. And now when I initiate this position, I know it's like the same thing, but for whatever reason, when I initiate it, I get a much better grip. So even if he's trying to roll his wrists out now, yeah, usually they'll roll back. Even if he rolls towards the outside, like it was before, like roll towards the outside, it doesn't hurt my fingers as much anymore because I feel like because I initiated it. You guys kind of just have to try it. But say like if I'm out here and I grip up and then he rolls outside, right? It's pulling my finger in a weird way. But now if I start from the inside, right? I get my grip and now he does it the same thing. It's not as bad anymore. I can't quite explain why, but it just doesn't like put the same pressure on my finger.
It's actually tighter on my wrist.
Yeah. Yeah. Versus, so grab here if you can. And also when you guys grab sleeve grips, a big problem I see is that people will grab here, right? Like this. Now see when I grab like this, that fold of the sleeve, it's still like, it's not really a pocket yet. It's like a pseudo pocket because I haven't folded the sleeve all the way back so that it has cuffs. I want to make a cuff out of his sleeve, right? So when I grab it, I'll act like I'm rubbing my fingers together like this, right? I'll pinch. And now as I fold it, I use my thumb to roll that sleeve completely over so that it's a true pocket, right? And this is going to help like you hold your sleeve grips a lot better versus if you're right here, when he pulls, the fabric opens my fingers up. But if I fold this grip all the way, if I fold the sleeve all the way over, when I get my sleeve grip, right, and I set it, now when he pulls the fabric, it doesn't pull my fingers open. He can yank really hard, right? This is actually pulling my fingers towards my own palm. So it's helping my fingers close tighter on that grip. So then I don't have to squeeze my forearms. Like if he yanks, really yank. I'm not using my forearm at all to hold that grip. I'm literally just letting him yank my fingers into my palm. So I feel like that helped me a lot with my sleeve grips, right? To where now the issue I have with like sleeve grips is not burning out my fingers or like burning out my forearms. It's actually like shredding the skin of my fingers open when we do like, 2 hours of like sleeve grip techniques, which is a good problem to have, right? So I'll get this grip. And now when you're trying to slide into this setup for your lasso spider from closed guard, a lot of people they're going to be tucking their elbows to get out of your closed guard. They're going to grab my hips, right? And they'll tuck their elbows deep in my thighs. And now here, the second I open my guard and I shift, he's going to break out. He's going to put pressure through my knees and get out of my guard. So I have to create an opening at one of the elbows. So as he pressures his elbows into my hips, I'm going to have to figure out how to get one of these elbows open, right? So I got to pull here. See how when I pulled real quick, I get this split second where his elbows detach from the inside of my thigh. I got to shift quick and bring my knee in, right? Even if I can just get here and pull this one knee up, even like I haven't shrimped at all, I just got to get my knee inside of that elbow and plant this foot in his hip. Now, like I have the setup to start going into my spider lasso. Now I can use my foot in his hip to shrimp my other leg back and I can come both knees inside the elbows, right? And I can put pressure on this arm to get my spider. Kick, come lasso. And right here, okay, maybe when I come to my initial lasso, if I come here, rotate so they can see. That's good. If I came here, right, and see how my grip is not deep enough on my lasso just yet, right? He can roll his wrist out right now, and this is gonna suck for me. So I have to pull this lasso such that it's in my thigh. But with my leg in the way right here, if I pull, it's hard. So I could kick through here real quick and then pull it all the way back in like that. That's to your question earlier. That could help, but you gotta be careful because whenever you go kicking your leg in, yeah, it's easy for him to pass. You don't want to kick it too deep. So as I'm coming into my right, as I'm coming here and I'm kicking into my lasso, I'll pull it back sometimes to get my fist onto the back of my thigh. And then once I get here, I'm gonna kick my foot into his shoulder. And now I'll probably start trying to pull him on top of me. And that's how I'm gonna get my initial off balance. Because from this position, just to start, it can be hard to start off balancing people, right? Like I can kick this foot straight, but how am I supposed to pull his arm up in the air? You see what I mean? Because I'm on the wrong hip. But if I come here and I just shift on this hip, sometimes I can't get the arm up in the air, like he tucks his elbow tight to his body. Like, damn, now I can't get his elbow up in the air. Pull him on top of me, shift now, under him. But now how am I going to go back the other direction? I'm going to pull him on top of me again, shift quick, right? And start elevating. So sometimes when you're playing the Spider-Lasso, you can't just sit out here with the person in front of you. Like I got to start loading them on top of my hips. And in order to do that, I have to have a good connection between my legs and my arms. So I'll think like, if I'm trying to pull them on top of me, I don't move my legs. I have enough tension here that if I pull my arm, it brings my leg with it. Does that make sense? So as I pull my arm, my leg's coming with it. And if I push my leg, my arm's going with it. And that's how I keep tension the whole time. Because a lot of people have problems in this position where they're thinking like, oh, okay, now I gotta pull them on top of me, so I gotta pull my knees to my chest, and then they do this. Oh shit, I just disconnected my spider. Now I have no spider. He's gonna flatten this out, and he's gonna knee slice past me. So instead, when I go, okay, I gotta pull him on top of me, I don't move my leg. I don't tell my brain to move my leg. I tell my brain to move my arm, and it pulls my leg with it, right? Otherwise, you guys are going to get a lot of disconnects in this position, and then you're going to be reconnecting them real fast. And that's gonna make it to where it's hard for you to off balance. Because in order to like truly off balance someone from this position, I have to keep this connections the whole time that I'm moving around. There can never be points where I'm getting loose, because right here, as soon as I come over but I'm loose, I lost my position. Now I can't knock him over because my foot came out of his elbow, right? So if you're having like these micro disconnects when you're in here, my foot's getting out of position. Sorry, I'll end up with a foot in his shoulder. And now my move's not gonna work anymore. So I gotta learn how to pull my arm and push my leg without getting loose. So that's what I'm saying. Like if I want to extend him, I kick my leg, but my arm stays tight. I'm not moving both limbs. I'm only moving one limb, and the other limb is coming with it. And there's a lot of this hip shifting as well. You guys gotta learn how to butt scoot from this position. So I'm picking myself up, right? Here, shift. And as I shift, I pull back in, right? Because this towards me is an off balance. Away from me is an off balance. To the side is an off balance. That to the other side is an off balance, right? So I can use forwards and backwards off balances as well. Because if I come here, up, right, and he sits back, come up that way. Pull him back on top of me. Right? Here. Kick. See how he's shifting? All I'm doing is moving my spider. So that forwards and backwards off balance can help me when I come here to come up. There's a little bicep flexor right here. But you know what? Try that. Try that, because I feel like the rest of Spider-Lasso is like pointless. If you can't stay in that position and stay connected, the rest of it's pointless. And then you're gonna go like, oh, this guard isn't for me. My hips aren't strong enough, or my legs aren't strong enough, or I'm too old. Because you'll get smashed and passed a lot. You're gonna get smashed and passed like frequently if you can't stay connected. So just do that. Have your partner go right here. Right here, they're gonna tuck their elbows into your thighs, right, and grab onto your pants, your belt, whatever, right? And you need to pull like this, right, to make that space and quickly get your knee inside. And then from here, bring your other knee. Now I can pick the side that I want to get my spider on. All right, and then go from here. Like this, and then start off balancing from here. And keep the connection. And the person on top, if you feel them get loose anywhere, swim your arm out. Like don't try to actively escape, but if you feel that disconnect, swim. Swim it and flatten their leg or whatever. Pull your arm out. Just so they know, like, oh shit, I got loose. Make sense? So it's like semi-live drill. Go semi-live. Person on bottom, go like 80%. Person on top, go like 40%, 50%. Don't escape. All right? Good? Any questions? No? All right, 3, 2, 1.
Ponies up.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
When you do that first grip pattern, you should almost like pitch it. No, you can just get out. You just like go back. Yeah. Like start from 0. Right? And when you go to do your initial like break, keep your guard closed. Right? But now like rip it and turn towards the opposite side of whatever one you're going. Yeah.
That's my left shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel how like it gives you, I feel like it gives me more power and more space. Right? Because I get more room to pull.
Let's get the knee.
Yeah, exactly.
You still got tension here, which is good. Yes. Sorry, it's on the
Sleep in today. It's too easy to pick. Side. Pull myself over. This is
I agree with that.
as you shift onto your right hip, extend your spider more. Yeah. There we go.
You can take me all the way over doing that?
Yeah. side. Your foot needs to kind of do that too. Hold your elbow for your lasso. Yeah. Yeah. See how you want your hand here so you can hook those knuckles in the back of your thigh. Yeah. Pull myself under. Yeah, you gotta go that way. Start moving around under there. Just feel it. Build back up, right?
You're getting tired.
So you want to, when you're gonna go that way, like you're trying to off balance them that to the lasso side, yeah, shift onto your right hip. So before you even do this move, go ahead and do a shrimp. Do like an airborne, yeah, shrimp. Now kick your shrimp. Yeah, you see how much more pressure you get? Yeah, and then when you come back the other way, do the same thing. Shift to your left hip out. Yeah, now knock it out. Now for this one, don't kick your lasso through, so pull your lasso back. Shallow, more shallow. Here, flare. More flare. Yeah. Now pull them back on top of you. Go to your left. Left. Now, when you go to off balance this direction, you need to pull this leg out. Pull this leg out. Yeah. You want this foot here. Now, start to extend your spider and then pull them on top of, pull them towards you this way. You got it. So, go a little more neutral. Go a little more neutral. All right. Now, right here, you're gonna go like this. Yeah. Now kick. Now kick everything to the left. But you want to go more towards your head when you kick. So do the same thing. So go pull that way. Yeah, you kind of that way, but not too much. It's like you're going right. My hand is the angle you're gonna go. You're gonna pull them on top of you, and then you're gonna go at this angle, right like that. It's a shallow angle to the left, towards your left shoulder. Under. Yep. Like this way. Now extend. Yeah, extend your spider. If you extend your spider, it makes it a little easier. So you want to go like. Coming here, right? If you're taking this way, you build back up. You come this direction. Set it on top of me. Yeah. So the very first way it goes, I go here, up, on top of me, and now I'm taking my left leg through the right. Not like that. Extending over.
Your hips are also closer to this side. I think that's the great side. Like when it comes down.
And now we can try to go up again.
I have a body
Shift. Now when it comes again.
plus probably like pull
Here. Back in. Got it. Yeah. It's hard to do slow. So feel it. Pull them on top of you slow a couple times. But then when you're gonna actually go to off balance, pull them and knock. You gotta have a little bit of momentum into it, or else it gets hard.
You shift this way, not me.
Yeah. But you have to pull, it doesn't work unless you pull them on top of it. Yeah. The kick won't work unless they're on
This
top.
foot,
Yeah.
you start creating tension. Then you can spider this side. And then on it. Not less, so spider. Here. Go spider, this one. Push.
Now get your lasso.
Now, switch.
Turn onto your hip. Turn onto your right hip. No, when you lasso, yeah, you want that leg up in the air.
Kick it over and lasso.
No, your hand is too shallow. So you pull your hand, your lasso. Your lasso.
Also, when you come, remember that connection was making here? Right here, remember your foot and your hand. So scoot back. All the way? No, not back, back. This position, right, so this.
That was just so weird.
Do you want your lasso on this side? Okay, so look, we're gonna get our spider on this side. So that means you're gonna, when you go to break, you're gonna pull, you're gonna shift to this hip. This knee is gonna slide in, this foot on my hip. All right, so let's just start there. There, okay, now, foot on it, there we go. Let's get some tension. Use your leg. Use your leg to push my hip away. There we go. Okay, see how we create tension? Okay, now we got this, right? So look, I'm gonna do this. What you're gonna do, you're gonna, do you want him to go spider before he throws lasso?
So
Or can he go lasso then come back to spider?
generally, it's gonna be, you'll maintain control more easily if you go spider first,
Okay,
because it's harder to get the spider once you have a lasso in than it is to get the lasso from the spider,
okay.
right? And because he already has that hip shifted up, right? Once, if you throw your lasso in on your left side right now, throw your lasso on your left side. Because the hip that's up, come under. The hip that's up is the one you want to do your lasso with. Because the angle is more easier to rotate your hip around.
Right, but you were going spider on your initial hip shift. When you throw
Yeah,
the
I'll go
knee in.
spider with the bottom
But
leg.
he wants, on the, so, come back.
Yeah, you go spider with your bottom leg.
So when he initially breaks, boom, boom,
Now his right leg will be the one that gets the spider.
you're going spider here.
Yeah, if you shift like this, yeah, you want to get the spider with the right
Now
leg.
kick.
And then look, your lasso, you need to pull this arm in here.
Like, you know, it's how this feels spider
Right
lasso.
here. He can roll his wrist on you. Which is what you're trying to avoid.
I have not been able to figure out how to, like,
There you go. There you go. Pull it all back. No, pull it. Pull it back. There you go. Now see how that gets nice and deep. Now keep your hand pointed on the back of your thigh.
And extend your spider. You want to get his hand away from anything he can grab onto. You don't want him grabbing onto himself. You don't want him grabbing onto you. You sure as heck don't want him to grab your hands.
Look, you're breaking your own grip here. And just pull.
Or you get under your-
And you're saying about this knee and this arm, right? Look,
Oh,
feel it here. See that space? Look it up. There we go.
There you go.
So then if you were to shift, so let's shift, pull me in, up, boom, now extend this. Once you pull in, now extend, right? Now let's shift again, so pull me in, shift, there we go, now you're using this. But be careful with that arm, see how your hand cut through?
Yeah, that's in both directions.
With this tension. But your tension doesn't always have to be away, right? You can pull me in as you push your foot, so your tension doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
Now, just go in here, so let's flare that knee a little bit. Let flare it out. There. See how you open me up really easily?
Don't extend the hand as you kick out. Straighten your legs, sir. Now pull it all back quick. Now plant, you see how you can plant your knuckles on the back of your thigh? Now don't ever let your knuckles leave the back of your thigh, okay? Now extend them away with your flower, or your spider. Now start to go off balance. Take them. Take them out, and back the other way.
When you take me the other way, really kick this up over that other shoulder. So just pull me back here. Now send this leg. There. Here it is.
Yeah.
Like when you extend that leg, don't go side to side. Kick it up over like you're doing a shoulder roll.
Yeah, so practice. Practice this. Practice this, the forward, backwards, off balance. So, when I get
The arm, he was doing
So there,
like.
that's the right.
there's the off balance and side to
But
side.
I can also off balance, pulling on top of me. So pulling on top of me, and now look, when I shift my leg up, it's taking them backwards. Automatically.
The direction that I want to go. So the forward, backwards, off balance. Here, right, like every time I'm shifting side to side, right before, I'm off balance and I'm on top of you.
Right, and then I'm kicking through.
Boom, now as it comes back up. We're gonna see here.
And notice how that is the key.
On the outside. And
So
then
one
like,
thing I would say too,
you see that?
is if
Right, and then I
you
kick
keep
here.
it stays
Now
down.
you can pull it back up. I pull my lasso right back to
I
my
don't
hip,
need a hip crit on that.
right? No, you're pull on top of it, and my knee, extend the leg.
But I get to go there.
Nice and close to the knee shoe.
Yes.
You see him sometimes?
If I don't like feel like I have the angle,
I see.
like look, if he's way back here,
My first thought, like, if you're,
it's gonna be hard for me to off balance.
just get my knee
So I
up,
gotta pull him up.
I can like be counter jerk against the
Then you could just show up your ass.
but I'm not, yes, but I'm not.
But sometimes I gotta.
I'm not very athletic either way.
You have a great spot.
I'm waiting for you to make
So I just start pulling
I
right
don't have to perform this.
Feel it. Feel it, right?
Feel it.
A little bit of just. It's very quick. It's hard to do it slow. Like it's hard to do that slow because if I pull you too far on top of me, it actually becomes difficult to knock you over.
And that's why when you get this, just maybe the size thing, which one you wouldn't go to, but when I go to load on my, that's a preferred side here.
You were, this is.
When I go to load,
There's another one.
you to just
The leg there, you
I have to do it, so let's say I'm here and here, right? And I'm gonna bring you back, just like you're saying, like pull in,
You're going back
I
and
go
forth,
to load you.
you're not able to sweep
I'm
up.
going to almost
Get him off down.
move my hips because it's just what you're saying.
Yeah.
I pull people here, at some point, they decide to sit on me.
Here, you go down, like going down with water. And if you come, if you go back, bring me that. Feel it in the frame.
But I think that's where you're going. It's like we want to learn things mechanically, but with this, in practicality, you can't apply it slow. Because what works is me going this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like
If you're going slow, I'm figuring little things out.
it's like shooting a slow double leg. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't shoot a slow double.
Right, right.
It just won't work.
This is,
Hold my arm there.
I had this conversation with, Jeremy.
If I grab that, yeah.
The other one. And I equate it to, so like when I'm playing this, it's the same thing on my feet. So like if I were just to sit there and try to have a lasso in and have a spider in, and we're sitting dead, and I can't just go and sweep you, right? So like same thing if we're standing, right? We're sitting like this. I generally can't just go and shoot a single leg. What I do is I go
Off balance.
off balance and then it works. Same thing here. Fake, move, and now it makes it easier. You know, the sweep is the easiest part. It's moving them around.
That concept carries over in just about every position.
Absolutely.
Every single position you can think of. Like
Misdirection.
your opponent is static defense. Like you're not gonna beat that.
Right.
People are too strong and they know exactly what you're doing. You gotta even like if I'm in close guard, I'll do if people hunker in like that, I'll take the side of their head and I start throwing it to the side because then you can get their elbow out of my hip and then I can catch that elbow, and then start
Yeah.
an arm trap or like then get my knee in there so I go,
Getting into the thin line thing so you can attack it.
yeah, or like hit the scissor sweep. Yeah, you gotta you have to get moving because defense is always easier.
I like it.
Once you get them moving, they'll let you know. It's like I can't go into it being like, I'm gonna sweep this way and that's what I'm gonna do. What I do is I move, and all of a sudden, that's just so easy.
Yeah.
Or this way's easy, right? But it's gonna depend on how you react to my movement.
Yeah.
Which one I take.
This is a
Talk about.
sweep that works. It's easier live than it is drilling. It's actually harder to do this drilling than it is to do it live because the other person's not. They're just sitting still.
Yeah. The other way, if you want this way in, you're gonna shift to this.
Right, because from Spider-Lasso, people are always going to try to escape. Because if they have a static defense, you're going to try and win.
Put this behind that. There you go.
All right, just bring it back in.
Saturday, where's your radio, man? Come on.
I'm not turning
Too
on.
quiet in here.
I'm not turning on.
Oh, this right there.
All right, everybody, come on. Come to this side. So the thing about this position is that it's actually easier to do this position live than it is in drilling because it does somewhat rely on the resistance in the movement and the attempts to escape of my opponent, right? Because like me and Tyler were talking about, like defense is usually really good when it's static. Like this is a really good defense when it's static. And if I'm trying to pull this arm across to get an arm trap, like I'll never get it because he's not opening up because there's no movement, right? I'd have to do something like sit up, pull him in, push, and then I get that arm out, and then I can pull it across and get to my arm trap maybe, just as an example, right? It's the same reason like when he hunkers those elbows in, I'm not going to open my guard and think I can hip shift out and get my knee shield to set this move up, right? There has to be some movement. So when he hunkers in, that's why I'm going to pull here. It's just that little bit of space so I can get my knee in and I create that movement. But then this concept of movement carries over for the whole move, right? So once I get here, it's actually harder for me to sweep him if he's doing nothing, which is what drilling is. It's harder for me to move him. It's harder for me to sweep him. All of those things if he's being static, right? So then the thing is like, all right, well, knowing that, like when you go live, why won't people just be static, right? And the reason is this, because from here, if he has static defense, right, he just hunkers in and just tries to not let me move anything, I'll just say, okay, pull my lasso out, go triangle. So that's like, in my mind, that's the reason, right? There has to be a reason that people are going to do anything in jiu-jitsu. Either they're trying to submit you and that's why they're trying to move forward, or they're trying to escape from a potentially dangerous situation. So if there's no danger to Tyler, there's no reason for him to move from here, right? And if he just hunkers in static, it's going to be pretty hard for me to get him on top of me. I can pull, try to shift. But if all he's doing is being static, not worried about anything, trying to escape, this is actually it becomes a much more difficult position to play from. So you have to be in danger. Your opponent has to know that they need to get out. They can't just sit here. And for me, this is why. Because if he doesn't move, I can just pull a triangle or armbar, right? Like those are his reasons to escape. Does that make sense? Right? So anytime from any position in jiu-jitsu, people have to have a reason to get out. If my closed guard is not dangerous, why would he ever try to escape? Right? I have to give him reasons to get out. So even if he hunkers in on my hips and I lock in real tight, if I don't have some kind of collar choke that I can start to set in, say he pulls his hands out, right? Now I'm like, oh, perfect. I start getting my sleeve grip, right? Shift my hip, spider. But if my opponent has no reason to escape, it's going to be hard for me to set any other attacks up. So it's just something to know, especially with this position, so that people don't hunker in on you and make it static. And then you're going to feel like, oh, this shit sucks. Is that if they do that, say, okay, good night, and put them to sleep. Not really. But you get the point. Like, you got to create danger sometimes in certain positions for people to move. And if there's no danger, like, why would they? Right? When they're just going to hold you down and sit there. Like, from their perspective of you being the attacker, they've achieved their goal of self-defense. They've successfully defended themselves because you have no way to hurt them. Right? So it's just like a perspective that I used. When I started to take on that perspective, it helped me open things up so that people wouldn't be static with me. They have a reason to move because they know if they don't move, I'm going to hurt you. You know, that's kind of like the concept offensively in jiu-jitsu. Is like you're like the bad guy all of a sudden, you know, like you're trying to hurt the other person, right? And so if you don't have that mindset sometimes, not hurt, but like submit, attack, you know? You gotta, sometimes you gotta think that way. You know, you gotta think like, okay, like if you're not gonna do anything, I'm gonna choke you out. And then they'll start moving and they won't be static anymore. Works on big guys, works on small guys, works on medium guys, works on higher belts, works on lower belts. Anybody, if like you put them in a position where they're gonna go to sleep, if they don't do something, they'll do something about it, you know? All right, philosophy over. You guys wanna roll? Let's go from close guard. Go from close guard and the person on top, hunker your elbows into the hip. Grab their pants or their belt. I would recommend not the belt because it rides up the body. I like to grab the belt line right here. You can hook your fingers into it, right? Like this. Like I'm on top. And I see right here, there's this strings. I can hook into these knots right here. Sometimes if that's all I can get, but I prefer to just grab right here. You go right into that belt line, roll it over, and then I drop an elbow, right? And I hunker in, and then get his butt, my knee in their butt. And that's how I break out of close guard. So start right here. And then just resist. Don't try to escape. Just resist so the other person can learn how to open this position up and then get to the Spider-Lasso. Cool. 3, 2, 1. Nice, Scott. Get the crook of your foot in the shoulder, Scott. The crook of your foot. Pull your knee. Pull your knee in, Scott. There you go. Switch. Rotate. You gotta move quick. Stop, not he sucked. That sucks. That position sucks. You went from a good position with his sleeves and you let it go. Grab his sleeves. Grab his sleeves. Why are you afraid of the sleeves? You gotta learn how the sleeves. Learn how to use the sleeves, Lisa. You gotta learn how to use them.
So,
You can't just let them go because it's hard.
so, yeah. You let me go. I didn't. Does that make sense? Like you just got frustrated. Stop. Always control something. Be solid.
No, don't let his sleeve go. Grab his sleeve again. Put your foot back in his elbow. Keep that spider. Shift your head back. Push the spider and shift your head back so his knee gets out of your leg.
See what I'm doing? You move. There you go.
There you go, Lisa. You gotta stay tight.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Keep your lasso in there. Keep your tension, Lisa. Build up.
Get it? Yeah. You move. Don't be reactionary.
Cross your feet. Cross your feet. Bring your right leg closer to his neck. And then cross your feet again. Bring your right leg closer to his neck. Yeah, there you go. Cross your feet the other way. Yeah. Just pull your heels into his back.
Slip it in. Your mermaid.
All right, so pull that on the
Now,
last
wear
body.
this out.
Grab that sleeve and just start pulling it. Grab the sleeve and just start to push it across your body. Just keep the pressure. Keep the pressure. There you go.
Legs longer, Colin.
There you go. Squeeze your knees. Don't uncross your feet. Keep your feet crossed. Keep pulling that arm. Pulling that arm. As long as you hold on to that arm, you can't get out.
Did it feel like I had to try to land?
Well, you gotta keep your leg tight.
When you're in position. What kind of weak stuff? One thing.
Control his sleeves. You gotta control his sleeves. You gotta stop grabbing the ankle and just leaving your feet floating in the
You're
air.
here, you had it, you were like
That position is
locked
not
in
good.
position, but
Look
that
down.
wasn't really tight. What you need to do is either hold on to the head
Going against
and then
kids.
Yeah,
Shift
here's him
and
just being
rebite.
able to beat up.
you feel that's tighter. So it's here.
Right,
You
all you
hold the
gotta do
head
is grab their
with
ankle,
shift
shift
and
it,
right,
and
or you
then
can
fall
shift
over.
the red direction.
But that doesn't work on
Pull
adults.
it down.
Like on a grown man, that's not gonna work.
Okay.
There's no grown man that exists.
You want the bottom of your
They're gonna
neck.
take your feet and they're gonna throw them right towards your head and stack pass. It's gonna suck.
You watch jujitsu competitions. For you, you might see adult division, right? You might see maybe
Shift, get that arm trap,
arm
Ryan.
objects.
Lock that arm trap in.
Good effect.
Shift your hip, cross your feet, cross your
And
feet.
you control my arms, like you're saying.
There you go. Now
This is
pull
what
your
hurts
heels to your butt. Pull it everything tight. Pull everything
This is
tight.
how I'm
Pull your
gonna
heels
hurt
to
you
your butt,
by
Ryan.
attacking you. You have those hands.
No, stop extending your legs.
And I have a real hard time.
Don't extend your
controlling my
legs.
arms.
Curl. Do like a
There's
hamstring
not a whole
curl.
lot I can do to you. Right? And I
Yeah.
think you're getting a
Maybe
little
just hold
frustrated when
Hold the
it's
hamstring
comfortable,
curl.
but that time to go before the one we just had, you were moving.
I start to look for your
I fell
pendulum
over
sweep.
because you kept moving.
Look for your pendulum sweep.
So be confident in that. Your hands hurting? A little?
Nice.
I was trying to like sink down underneath for it. He was blocking my arms, keeping me on the side.
Oh, did you have your
Yeah.
gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big thing there when you get into that arm trap. When you start extending your legs like that, it gives them room to shift and start to try to pull their elbow back inside of your hip. It's much better to just hamstring curl. Pull it tight, because then it compresses them tight into your hip. So there's no room for them to pull their elbow out.
Okay.
And he's carrying your weight too at that point. So like sometimes you just kind of have to wait him out, let him get tired. Oh. lasso. Besides, roll your wrist up. Roll your wrist. Roll your wrist. Your right wrist. Roll it. Roll it under his leg. You're not rolling. You're thinking too much. Grab his pants. There you go. Don't get triangle. Don't get triangle. Roll the lasso. Yep. Roll. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Don't put yourself in a triangle. Don't put yourself in a triangle. Grab his pants inside. Don't grab his belt. That hand. Try to grab his pants at his ankle. Start to work down towards his ankle. So you know, if he's got a lasso, if he has a lasso in, or he loses his spider, watch. If I grab this, right, and I extend this out, now I can make space. It's going to be really hard for him to pull it. He can pull it as tight as he can. I can locate out of this. I have to roll my wrist out, right? Then I can start to smash past him. Then as I move, that's him rolling my wrist, and then I'm going to get out. So anytime you can, it's good to get in his pants. Or if you have a lasso, and I can get him, I can throw this leg over, and then drop into it. And everything's going to fall apart.
Come back, if we're here, look, we're here, right? I lose this, right? Use this opportunity to do this. So see how he's attacking my leg? Right? Here, this is problems for me. See how I can't get back in? I grab my
Moving around a lot.
Alright.
Hey, you're doing right? I'm good, yeah.
right back in.
Just something I said we're moving around a lot.
But if you keep your hands here,
I didn't get you.
Now,
No, we're good.
I'm holding on for life. Right now, I'm just holding. I don't control anything. I can't get through. I gotta abandon it to try to go to something else. So the second you come back up, I'll just go right back to the same position. As you get aggressive jiu-jitsu, almost all passing is gonna happen with controlling the hips and the legs.
Yep.
Not
Not up the bottom.
This is where I reset if their guard is closed and I want to start trying to break. But next, unless I'm doing, obviously, I mean, there's jumping attacks, frontal attacks, going from here up. Every other pass is gonna attack.
And that's why when you're playing guard, and you stand there, I don't want to be like this. Because he can't control my legs. So, this is not the kind of. I need to get my legs under this. Because now I control his hips. Right? Like now I have hips. That's here I have legs.
I feel like I'm that. I agree.
I thought, but from
I feel
here,
like I'm taking all the weight off.
my legs. So like this is a better position.
Spot
to
to
be in, right? If you grab this and come back in spider, this is okay. Like this position is not bad. I can pull myself through and come into single leg X. And single leg X with spider is a pretty good spot. This is not bad because I control this hand whenever I want. I can shift my leg under and knock him over because I have sleeve control, and then I can build up, right? So like that's not bad, but
You take a,
yeah, just only you're floating in the air.
you simplify a little, say. You know, here,
You leave, Scott?
points of contact, right? You all hear someone talk about points. How many do you always want to have? Well, 4 is ideal, at least 3, right? So, you only got 2 legs. So that means points of contact with your hands. What made everything he did work is because his point of contact was one of my sleeves. Right? So just, if you have it, keep 1, keep 2. Don't let go of 2. And listen, I said the word edge. So, I don't want to say.
Closed guard is okay.
Yeah.
You can hit it from closed guard pretty well. But it's because they're not like fully standing and leaning over. They're getting up and you're catching them in that moment of like,
Right, transitionals. it's transitional thing. It's not an abandoned guard. It's not a slow thing.
But usually when you hit it too, your legs are actually hooked behind their hips.
When you go,
Yeah, planted. You're not leaving your feet floating in midair.
now, I do like, and I think that you tend to go to this position a lot. There is a lot of cool, like ankle kicks to sweep.
Yeah.
Right, so like I go for one ankle. I like that a lot, and it's the same idea as a lumberjack. But you would, if you're standing up, let's get up here. So like we're in this position here, right? And we're fighting on here and here. Look, I'm not going to let go of both and go here, but I may do this, right? And come up. So it's okay. The concept of lumberjack is there, but you'll find it less and less. And I think when people drop two of them, it's the old, they try to sneak you and you grab the powder and pee. They go pee and then you go just. Sit down. Good.
Go for the guard you said. It's gotta come under its own.
Not over top.
Nope. Guard you said.
No.
What do you mean inside of his arm? There you
No. Yeah. I'm gonna get up and start running into smashing. So there's something. I'm just. This is.
Get your spider first. You need to get your spider first because if you don't, he's gonna grab your cats. And that's a bad spot to be. He's gonna throw your leg across.
I'm gonna go. Hang on, look at this here. I think he needs. Think of a 5 movement transition. Right, so we're breaking, we're starting our knee coming out. Right? Establish spider, establish lasso.
Yeah.
We must do 3 movements after that.
Just sign it here.
We must do that.
Off
Now,
mount.
today, we must do that 50 times. He's, I think he's in a rush to get to the off balancing part.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
not securing.
Yeah, you gotta secure your position first.
Does that make sense? We talking too much later today? No, we're all right? Okay, so look, let's slow down. Let's just do your entry to spider and now I'm gonna say like I could be this is what I'm not putting down. This is where we missed out. Jiu-jitsu is the drilling something over and over and over. We try something 3 times before we're alive. So let's get to your
I hope so. You're on your one.
get to your spider.
You stick around?
Get to your last area. It's gonna stop there.
Oh, fair enough.
Right?
Anyway,
It's only a couple of
thanks.
featured grips. Oh, slow down, Lisa. Okay. Right now, which one are you gonna spider? Okay, spider, this one, last one. So, we're gonna shift this hip, put this one in. Right, shift, boom, lean. Okay, stop. This is the first checkpoint right here. Okay, it's in here, it's in here. I want not to down here, so go ahead, start. Oh, no, don't clear out here, but just secure position. I want you to be comfortable in position, right? Here. Now, this is your check. If I don't do anything, what are you going here? Put your butt throwing. No. If I don't do anything, what would you get me? Right. Okay, so that's your check. One way you check that is go ahead and pull your hips off the mat. Right? If I don't do anything, you're trying to make right now. Right? Okay. Now if I'm back, if I'm defending. Now, you got this, you got this. And then pull this tight. You don't have to strain, pull tight. Just pull your arm in and out. Right? You shouldn't be hurting your hand the whole time. Okay. Now, you're going to go Spider-Lasso. Boom. Okay. Now this is your next check. Now we got that tension here. Right? So again, just tuck your arm in, pull that back. Set your fingers. Remember how you're going to use that? Open up. You're going to use that hand back there. Now, tension doesn't have to be strained. Tension doesn't have to be straight. You can have tension everywhere you move. You're having tension when you move out. You move your arms and your legs. Okay. So this is your check point. Now you're going to start moving. What we're going to do is you're going to dump me. You're going to use this. Take me this way first. There. Okay, that's one. Then what you're going to do is you're going to lift your hips up, bring them under you, pull me on top. Here. Now you're going to shift and take me this way. There, stop there. Now look here. You're going to use your sleeve, keep your leg out, and pull yourself right on top. So you're going to pull. You're going to kick your foot out, and use this amount. That's all we're going to do. We'll do that. That's going to go. Let's do that 5 times. Boom. In. Perfect. That's checkpoint 1, right? Yeah, hips up exactly. On the move, what are you going to do? Hold me in triangle. Okay, good. Here. Okay, now. Next. Extend it. Let's get tension there if it doesn't work. You got to address that. Now you're going to kick through. Pull me in. Yeah, checkpoint 2. Got your grips. This is where you kind of fix everything, get it going. Now, you're going to take me this way. There. React. Pull me in. Yep. Shift. When you pay, you're moving your hips the wrong way. When you take me this way, you're going to scoop your hips. There. Pull up. Good. Check. Check. Okay. Good. Kick. Good in. Boom. Tip me. Boom. Tip me the other way. Okay, hang on. When you tip me the other way, feel how you lift your hips at the end. Pull me into right now. There. Now shift. Boom. There. Pull up.
Mostly my jaw, just like
Check. Good. Out. Shift. Kick. Good. Come in. Grip set. Hit like that. Nice and tight. And extend me, take it this way. Now, hold on. When you take it this way, use this more. I'm still locked in my armpit. Those big feet. Feel your toes in my armpit. Feel how you got some lift there? So when you take it this way, really use those toes. Don't. Boom. I had a sleep fit, right? But I'm going to react. Come up. Come up, slow your hips. Extend. Boom. Got a form selection there, but you don't like that. Hey, good job. Listen, when we do stuff like this, I'm the same way. Focus on the first 1 or 2 things. Because everything else goes to crap if we don't do the first 1 or 2 things straight. Odds are that's what you need is the first 1 or 2 things. You figure the first 1 or 2 movements out, then you figure out what you want to do. Right? Lock it in. And what we did just now, we read anybody in this class to do it. They don't have to necessarily even know what you're doing. So go through those checks. Got it? You got it. See ya.
trying to fix me here. You don't have to be a mouth. Or get your back.
Lucas, I got like 10 minutes. I'm gonna blow some of this hair up and vacuum it up, right?